Hi everyone, this is Chiran here. So this video is gonna be a very important video. So I request you to not to skip the video in between. Obviously, it's gonna be something somewhat gonna like lengthy video, but it's unavoidable. As I said, it's very important video. So what we are gonna discuss in this video is like the things, the political things and economic thing that has been happening in this world as of now, including the Indo-China, India and China, the border issue. The primary reason is being like will the World War III will come or not. So this video is completely gonna be the based on my opinion and observation that has been done till now in this world politics and economy. So considering the point of the political movement and the economic activities and the social activities, religion activities that has been happening, the major thing that has been happening across the world, we're going to connect all the dots and we're going to link. As said, we're going to connect the major dot, all the major things that is in happening, and we're going to see where this is heading towards and what exactly going to happen in the near future. And as said before, so all this is what I'm going to discuss further in this video. It's all based on my observation, or there is no any hard rule that it's going to be happening on the same way what I said or it is supposed to happen. It's all like based on my previous observation. I just come to a conclusion this might be the for things that might happen in the future. Okay, so listing out the few important points which we're gonna discuss in this video, like gonna see in detail what is going things like CPEC project and petro yuan, petro dollar and petro yuan, and why China is having a dispute with major all the most of the countries which is being shared, and why there is a dispute between the land border between India and China, and what is the part of America in this and what is the part of India in this role, and will the World War III will come or not. If it is coming, what are the major cities that gonna be divided, and we're gonna also discuss about that one country who has been supporting the super major power with the intention of the self benefit, and we're gonna see that in detail. As I said, this video is based on the my personal opinion on observation of the world politics and the economical activities and the regional activities. But obviously I'm gonna skip the religious activities in this video because I don't want to get into those stuff in this video. But this discussion, whatever the conclusion I'm giving, it's based on that observation as well. Okay, come, let's get into the video. Okay, firstly, we're gonna start this with the border dispute between the India and China. So to understand this border dispute, why it is being taken it so seriously, and why there is a major disputes between the Indian economy and Indian government and Chinese government, we need to understand about the one particular project which is Chinese has taken over in the recent time. That project name is called CPEC. Most of you would have heard this project by this time. For the person who was not aware of this, I just want to give a short brief about this. CPEC full form is like China-Pakistan corridor. Economic corridor. The main purpose of this project is to have a route map for the transaction between China and other countries. So what they have did, they are building a huge project to connect a roadmap between Pakistan. There is say a place called Gwadar, and there is a port in there. To connect from that port to the China, there is a place called Kashgar. There is a west side of the that is located in the west side of the China. So this road connects. It's around 3000 kilometer far, which is connected by road. So the main reason for this project to taken over by China is for two major reasons. One thing is to shorten and smoothen the transportation and for export and import, and the second reason is till now the China is doing all the trade in the waterways, majority of the trade in waterways, like importing the petroleum products and other products from Iran, Saudi Arabia, and all these UAE countries is from waterways. What they are doing is till now all the cargage are being transported in South China route. So there is a major problem comes here. What happens once this China get into conflict or any war kind of zone, there will be a huge freeze and tariff to be transported these kind of goods from South China Sea. That's been there are many countries like Japan and other countries who will be completely freezing it. So this will be a major problem if suppose China is getting into clash. So what they have planned is they have planned for the alternative way to connect this, instead of traveling so in a far distance, they planned for a very short distance, which is from Pakistan to China. So this border ports, it's been making is very easy to, which is also nearby for the UAE countries like Iran, Saudi Arabia, and other major, okay, which connects the other major cities, so that it will be very easy and smooth for transporting the goods via the roadways and the railways. So they have invested the huge amount on this as well. So approximately when they started this project, they were estimated about 46 billion, and now they have estimated by the completion of this project it might go up to 70 to 75 billion, which is a huge investment. So the major problem occurring here is the route between this Pakistan and China is being interfered by the Pakistan occupied Jammu Kashmir land. There is some portion of the transportation way that is been coming in the POC, which is a Pakistan occupied country. So there already there is a dispute, and the things of a clash that has been happening between India and Pakistan is for this major reason, that is Pakistan occupied country. So what happens if suppose this project is implemented, this will be a big hit for Indian this will have a huge impact between the border issue of India and Pakistan. So that is the reason the China is being very aggressive towards the Indian things that has been Indian disputes that has been happening between India and Pakistan and India and China. So they have already invested a huge amount on this though. So now they can't even back off with these things. So by implementing this CPEC project, China can cut down the 12,000 kilometers of extra travel to transport these kind of goods from importing and exporting. And the second major conflict that China has involved is petro yuan. So just like the agreement between UAE and America, there is agreement which is happened the post Second World War for petrodollar. Instead of selling the petrol in the currency of their own or in the common trade of gold, so they made come up with an agreement to sell all the petroleum products like crude oils to in your US currency. So this is a major things that keeps a US currency which is more valued in the world market, and also this is a major part to keep the country in a superpower top one list. So what happens recently, China has also introduced their new one agreement for petro yuan. So now what happens, the major crude oil producer, petroleum producer countries, now if they want, they can instead of sell in yuan currency instead of American currency. So if this come into the picture, so the yuan currency will have a greater value, will start growing eventually in some days or in near future. Yuan currency might have a very much value more than American dollars. So if this happens, so China will be a major competitor for USA for being a next superpower country. So if you can observe, there is been a big crisis that is about to happen for US. On I guess it's already started from last one decade. So US economy is not being very much strong and stable. There is a chance of getting a huge crisis again. But using this as an opportunity, China can go very much faster if this petro yuan come into existence. And also we can evidently see that China's economy was growing very rapidly from past 1.5 decades. Just ignore about the current situation, this COVID situation. Before COVID, there was a huge growth in the Chinese economy. So in the recent time, there is also a hit in the Chinese economy because of this COVID situation. Most of the major countries having a negative impact on the China's economy, so that is also having a direct hit in their growth. So considering these 2 points, if petro even comes into the picture, definitely China has a big chance to have a next superpower country. So in this competition of being who is the next superpower country, there is already a country, America, where we know that's the superpower country as of being till now, but who is also facing the huge economic crisis. And also the second other two countries who is being in this competition is China and Russia. So Russia is also being very hit very badly because of the few trade restriction that has been put on by USA to trade between Russia and other countries. So that is the reason Russia is also having a huge economic downfall in recent times. And also China was going better. So in the terms, China's economy was doing somewhat better compared to America and Russian economy. So world cannot, USA cannot put any direct trade restriction to China because China is having a huge human resource which no other countries like apart from India and very few countries having a human resource to support any kind of development. So putting a trade restriction will be a very bad idea. So now it's already been created that bad impression on the China because of this COVID situation, and that is already we have said direct hit on their economic growth. From past 1 century, America is being the number one superpower country in this world after the Second World War. So in this fight between the world major countries, that who is going to be the next superpower country, the major countries that which is going to be involved in this fight is like America, China, and Russia. So in this fight of between the countries of who is going to be the next superpower country, so it is will be purely decided based on the war. Because I'm not saying just like that. Based on the observation of the previous World War One and World War Two, the winner of the World War has become the next superpower country for the next till the next war. So to decide the next superpower country, obviously they're gonna be placing a next World War, which is gonna be a very huge thing that is might be happening in the future. And based on this war, who is gonna win? That's gonna decide who will be the next superpower country in the world. Okay, everybody is aware there has been a huge tension that has happened in beginning of the 2020 between the Iran and America because of that Soleimani's death, which is assassination that has been happened. So my observation on this event is, if suppose there was no any war that had been happened between these two countries, if suppose that war would have happened, definitely America would have won. America have the more chances of winning that war. But thing is, America also would have been hit very badly by Iran thing because of this, where their economy will be in a crisis and already in the downfall. It's that war would have happened. If that would have happened, they will be definitely not in a situation to have to be involved in any next major war between China or Russia. So it will be giving a upper hand for Russia and China to reduce one of the competitor in this fight for the next superpower country. So my opinion here, my observation here is, so the America did not involve war in Iran just to avoid this opportunity of being the continuing the still superpower country. Because as I said, if that war would have happened, definitely America economy could have been affected very badly. So they will be losing the opportunity of being a next superpower country because there will be other two pipeline like Russia and China, who's been already in the field. So this was my opinion and understanding. I might be correct or I might be wrong. We might have a very much a big question in our mind. What happens if suppose India and China involving into war because of this border dispute? So obviously Chinese army is bigger comparatively in numbers and weaponry wise. But if suppose India and China are involving in war activities, Indian army has to be divided into two parts. One is like within protective from Pakistan side, and one is become protective from China side, because these are the two major countries we have a conflict between the borders, and also we share the border with this country. And also Pakistan and China is a friendly country. If suppose we involve with China, obviously Pakistan will also give some kind of disturbance from their end. So Indian army might be divided this two major part, but Chinese army is not like that. So even though they have a huge number comparatively with the Indian numbers, so Chinese army has to be divided their army with all the countries who they share the border, because they have a border dispute with everyone. If suppose India is having a major war between India and China, obviously the countries who is been affected by China because of the border issue, they will be supporting the Indian army. So obviously they want to protect their border from around. So they need to segregate the uh, army with several parts. As we all know, unity is the strength. If Chinese is dividing their army into multiple parts to protect all the borders from whoever they have the dispute in the border, this gives a major plus for the Indian army in this combat. So you, if suppose using this India and China conflict, if suppose using this as a platform is World War III started, definitely there will be a support from America as well. Then the world countries will be divided into three major parts. One is like America and their allies who's supporting in the armies, and their friendly countries. List comes under the American world side, and the second country comes China side. China also is having a huge support from Russia only because they are opposing USA. So apart from that, there is no any I can observe any friendly zone between Russia and China. But definitely Russia will support China. And also third part will be the UAE countries like Arab countries. So a few countries also there where there will be very much chaos to support, like countries like India, because we have a friendly relationship from long term from Russia side, and also we have a very good trading rapport with the US side. So these kind of countries like India will have a big chaos to decide their path to support which side of the country, because you can also observe many of the Indian Army, their weaponaries and fighter jets all been traded between Russia and India. And as I was mentioning in the initial of the video, there is a one country who has been supporting from behind. One that superpower is like Israel. They've been supporting America from behind, and they've been supportive in every way that America is involving in clashes with Iran or Iraq or in China. Everything they got a huge support from Israel, but they do have their but as per my opinion, they do have their personal self beneficial motivation to support majorly America, because there is one example, good example which I can give is, if suppose two friends are fighting very badly, so the third person who has been supporting from behind, there is a huge chance that he will come front very fastly, because the person who was involved in fight will become very weak, and the third person is very much easy to come front and win the match. So I think Iran is focusing on this kind of path, if I'm not wrong. But China is also having a huge hit, as I said, because of the COVID situation. They had a very bad negative impact, and also the other major reason why the economic is in very bad situation is, and the other major thing that China is facing in current situation is the flood thing that has been happening in the Yuan city. There is a huge rain that has happened in China from recent time. Because of that, there is a huge flood, and there is a crores of people who is being shifted from one place to another for the safety purpose. And also there is a one big dam, which is the world biggest dam till date. We all know heard about this dam, and we are also hearing the news is that this dam is in a very risky situation. It might be deconstructed at any point of time because of the uh, crossing the water level. So there China is also this China is also facing so many issues and conflict within their country. So there is very less chances that is having a healthy economic in China also. So considering all this in point, there will be definitely a World War III which might be happening in future. If not tomorrow, or at least in near future, it will be happening for sure, to decide who is going to be the next superpower country in the world. So whatever I discussed in this video is all my personal opinion. There is no any hardened rule that this thing should happen, or no any future prediction, something like that. It's all based on my observation in world politics and social activities that have been happening across the world. So if you have any other second thought or anything, you can feel free to mention in the comment section. Even I'll be very happy to encourage those kind of things, because it should not be like one person opinion. Whatever I am discussing should be correct or wrong, just my observation. If you have any second thought on opinion whichever I shared in this video, feel free to comment in the comment section. It's very much welcome. Thanks so much guys. Bye.